been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, I'm really excited today though because we are diving right into our Alfred Adult Greatest Hits book, and we're doing one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite movies. We're doing Beauty and the Beast today, okay? So before we dive in though, if you could do some things for me. You can like and share and comment on this video. Let me know if you like it. We're learning lots of great stuff today, so I'm hoping that you're going to vibe with it, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. La la la! Subscribing is the easiest thing that you can do to support my studio, and it just lets me know that what I'm doing is working, right? You like it. After that, don't forget to also join our Discord server. I love seeing my YouTube students on Discord because that's where you start like building that relationship. I put you in your class channels and you can post your piano videos and I'll give you feedback, okay? So whatever you're having trouble with, you know you can go to Discord and ask for help and I'll be there to help you, okay? So I want to see you on there too. After that, if you're really feeling generous, I would love the financial support on Patreon, right? So this is like my main gig, right? So if you are really loving it and you like what I do, being a donation-based studio, I really do rely heavily on your generosity. So if you can spare like $5, like a frappuccino, to help support my studio, that would be fabulous, okay? Join Patreon below at this link here, okay? All right, friends, thanks for listening. Let's get started on our lesson today. So Beauty and the Beast, like I said, pull out your Greatest Hits Level 1 book and turn to page 18 and 19, okay? This is a great song to learn, especially now, just because it's so meaningful, right? It's a beautiful piece that you can play on the piano, and it's very accessible for our learning here, okay? So let's dive right in. I'm gonna grab my pencil because I'm gonna make some marks, so you might wanna grab yours too. I'm seeing a lot of really interesting stuff here. I don't see any sharps or flats in the key signature. So we're going to be in C major. That's really good, okay? Next, we've got 4/4 time. So 4 beats a measure and the quarter note's still getting that beat. So we're going to have this consistent 4 beats per measure going on. Our tempo is moderately slow. This is not a fast song. I don't see in the movie, I don't recall them doing like a crazy foxtrot or something in that big hall. No, they're doing a beautiful, slow song that's just incredibly nice to listen to and to play. So we're not going to rush this. Looking here at our first dynamic sign, we have a nice mezzo forte. And as I look through this music here, it's split, the melody, between the left hand and the right hand. Now I know this because I'm following the lyric line, okay? And I'm seeing that some of the notes are written in the bass staff and some are in the treble staff, okay? This is telling me that the melody line is shared between the hands, okay? So let's figure out what our starting position is going to be and let's start learning this song together, okay? All right, let's do it. All right, switch into piano view here. Should I do picture in picture to get fancy? Why not? Hey, there I am. All right, so I'm looking here at the beginning, the very first measure, and I'm actually noticing here that our first note is an E in the bass clef, okay? Now it says that I'm gonna put a finger 5 on it, so I'll go ahead and fan out the rest of my fingers, okay? Now the very first note in the treble staff, it's a finger 1 on a middle C. I see that floating down there below the treble staff. So I'll put my finger 1 there on my middle C. Now you see how my hands are positioned? It's very much like middle C butterfly position, but instead of the actual butterfly with both thumbs on middle C, we've lowered that left hand finger 1 thumb onto the B and fanned out the fingers, okay? If you need to pause the video to find your spot, you can do that too, okay? All right. So now that we're here, I notice the note pattern in the left hand is going up by thirds because I see space note, space note, space note, okay? I'm going to play the first 3.5 lines of this piece, and we're going to go over the notes together, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and E, G, B, C, F, hold, D, F, third C and E, 2, E, G, B, C, D, hold, F, A, E, and G. Good, right hand. C, D, E, F, G with a fifth in the left hand. G, F, E, D, C with a 2 and 4 F and A. F, E, D, C, G, hold. D and F, hold, down to C and E, hold. Just like the beginning. E, G, B, C, F, hold. D, F, C and E, hold. E, G, B, C, D, hold. We've got G with an E, D, E, G, C with an A. Good. C, B, C, E, F. Good. E, F, D, E, C. That's an E in the left hand. F, G, down to C. And that's where I'm stopping. Okay? Now, with that, it got a little bit tricky on that third line. Okay? Let me switch this to spotlight. Okay. So looking in that third line in particular, you can line up some of those left-hand notes with your right-hand notes, okay? The very first time where we're playing left and right-hand notes together on line 3 is going to be in that second measure. You see the word both? Yeah. There's a G in the left hand and an E in the right hand, okay? I'm going to give a big oval circle around those so I know that they're going to be played together, okay? Let me see if I can give you a little preview of that here. Right there. Okay. All right, so that section right there, just make sure that they're lined up just right, okay? As we continue on line 3, there are some instructions here in parentheses for the left hand. It says, from our original position, move your left hand finger 2 down to a bass clef F, okay? So I'm going to switch to piano view so we can practice that movement together of the left hand, okay? Let's try it. All right, so starting here, we have our regular position that we began with the finger 5 on our E, okay? I'm going to play the third measure of line 3, beginning on my A, that's a finger 2, A, hold, then B, then we shift down to a finger 2 on F. Okay, it's kind of a weird section there. All right, let me go ahead and do that one more time. Pinky is on my E bass clef. We're playing a finger 2 on the A. That's the third measure of line 3. And we're holding that for 2 beats. And then we're going to do that move left hand 2 down to F motion, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. A, hold, B, rest, move down to finger 2 on F, hold, then G, F. Very good, all right. One more time just so we feel good about it, okay? We put our hand in our original position, pinky finger 5 on our bass clef E. We're beginning with a finger 2 on our A. This is the final time through of these 2 measures. And then we'll see if we can play all of the third line together, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. A, hold, then B, move your hand down, finger 2 on F, good, then G, F. Excellent, all right. So Even though that was kind of a weird shift, make sure to give yourself some visual reminders that you're going to have to move that left hand down to continue the rest of that part of the song, okay? Let's see if we can play all of line 3 and that little portion of line 4 that we learned up to the end of sort of the midpoint of measure 16, okay? Just this little section, and then we'll move on and learn a little bit more, okay? You got this, okay? You can do this. All right, let's try it. Okay, so we're starting at line 3, measure 11. I'm going to be in that original position that I started with. My right hand is on my middle C, finger 1 thumb, and then my left hand thumb is going to be on that B, okay? All right, here we go. Measure 11. 1, 2, ready, play. E, G, B, C, D, hold. E, D, E, G, C, good. C, B, C, shift your left hand, good. F, G, down to C, very nice. Okay, friends. How did you do on that section? If it's still a little shaky, that's okay. That's okay. Slow it down. There is nothing telling you here that you have to be playing it a tempo the very first several times that you play it. That's okay. Tempo is literally like the last thing that we work on. What you want to work on first is making sure you've got those notes correct, okay? Take your time. You can learn this song. It's a really nice song, okay? Now, moving on to the next section here. At measure 16, we just finished playing a finger 5 in our bass clef C, okay? But then the second section of the song picks up, okay? Our right hand comes in with ever just the same. You remember that part? It's so nice. Ever a surprise. It's so pretty. So we're going to learn this section in here, right? This second section I'm calling measure 16 to measure 24. Okay, so if you want to make a little pencil mark, you can do that. I'm going to put a star at measure 16. And then at the very top of the second page, there's measure 24. I'll put a second star. Okay? This is the next section we're going to work on at this moment, okay? Let's give it a good try. Here we go. I love this song. It's so pretty. All right, so we just left our right hand in our regular C position here. And then we just got finished playing a pinky finger 5 on C, okay? Now there's a second set of instructions for the left hand. It says, move left hand 5 up to E. So all that's really saying is move it back up to the original spot we had it before, okay? So go ahead and shift that up. There's that pinky on our E bass clef. And let's give this a good try, okay? All right, I'll say some note names so we can figure out what's happening, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, play. C, D, E, F, G with the 5th. E, G, A, B, F and A, good. A, B, C, A, G, that's with the 5th. E, G, A, B, F and A, good. C, D, E, F, G with a 5th. G, F, E, D, C with an A, good. C, D, E, C, D, B flat, B natural, G, E with a C. Good, and we're stopping there. Awesome, that was good. Y'all did great. Now, watch those accidentals there at the end of that first page, okay? A lot of students can get confused with flat signs and natural signs, okay? Remember, the natural sign, all that it's doing is canceling out the flat sign or the accidental from before, okay? Naturally, when you see a B flat in a measure and it has the flat notated, and a B that's next to it, If there was no natural sign, that would actually still be a B flat. It would be 2 B flats. But because they put the natural sign in front of it, that's saying, take that flat out, okay? So then we have this melodic pattern that goes up a half step. B flat, B natural, right? It's really, really interesting how they do that because it changes the color of the sound in that section, okay? Let's see if we can play this section again. I'm not going to say as many note names in here, but I want you to listen carefully to how these relationships between the notes really expand upon this section, okay? You got this. Here we go. Oh, my classic giggle that I just sneak in there, okay? All right, we're starting at measure 16 where we drew our star, okay? We're back in our original hand position, and I'm going to count off. Here we go. 1, 2, ready? Oops, let me do that again. I have to do a 6-beat count off because we're coming in on the 3rd beat. Let's scratch that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, play. E, G, A, B, F, and A, good. A, B, C, A, G, good. Nice. C and A, good. C, D, E, C, D, B flat, B natural, G, C and E. Good, that's at the top of page 19. Nice work, friends. Yeah, it's getting there. It's really getting there. Okay, now that we've done that, work on that section till you get it nice and solid and you're feeling comfortable with it. Then we can move on, okay? Now looking here at the top of page 19, at measure 24, you know where you drew your star? The theme comes back, right? Tale as old as time, tune as old as song, bittersweet and strange, finding you can change, learning you were wrong, right? I just wanted to sing it. Well, it's the theme again, right? It's like the same theme from the beginning of the song. It's come back, okay? So whatever you learned on the first page, you can apply to this section as well, okay? I've notated this section, measures 24 to 43, okay? You'll notice that's almost the entire page, okay? 24 all the way down to the final line, okay? Instead of a star, I'm going to put a happy face, right? That's my back to the theme section, right? So if you've marked your music, it'll match along with mine, okay? Now with that, I think we can actually play this section just like we learned the first section on the first page, okay? Let's switch to piano view and try and do it together, okay? You got this. I feel like I say that a lot. You got this, you got this. But it's true. I say it because it's true. I want you to be comfortable knowing that all the knowledge that you've learned up until this point, you can apply to this amazing music, okay? Now I'm going to find my spot, okay? Just like the original position we had before. We're going to do a pickup to the 3rd beat of measure 24, okay? So it's another 6-beat count off. Listen carefully, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, play. 2, D, F, 3rd. To C and E. Nice. E, G, B, C, F. Hold. Keep going. Here we go. E, D, E, G, C, and A. Nice. C, B, C, E, F. Very good. Beauty and the Beast. E, F, down to E in the left hand. Here we go again. Till as old as time. C, B, C, E, F. Very good. E, F, D, E, C. Very nice. F. Down to measure 43. Okay, and that's where I'm stopping, okay? Now, how did you feel about that section? Did you notice all of the same recurring sounds and themes and melodic patterns as page 1? It's practically identical, okay? Lots of things going on here, but if you do a compare and contrast between those sections, you'll notice that there's so many things that are very, very similar, okay? If there was any difference, it would probably be the dynamics, right? So in this section here, we're sort of winding down. So I would think that the dynamics would be getting softer as we're playing through this section again. And whereas on the first page, we are dealing with a nice mezzo forte because we're making a statement at the beginning, right? We're getting into it, getting into the song and getting into character in a way, right? Now, all of that section is wonderful because we need that theme to be presented once more because we actually have something quite cool at the end of the song. The final line, measure 43 to the end, it's kind of like what we would call a cadenza, right? It's sort of like a restatement of the motif or the melodic sound at the beginning that sticks in your head. Ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. But they changed it because it's slower, okay? We slow it down. We have a nice ritardando at the end. We also have the inclusion of some very interesting fermatas, okay? Now, do you remember what a fermata was? Yeah, it's like that curved line with a dot, right? It kind of looks like a surprise face. Like the eyebrow and the eyeball. It's a pause. It's a natural pause. It's music's version of a theatrical dramatic pause, right? You want to stop, suspend time for a little bit when you see those fermatas. Now look at your music. I want you to see on the final line of the song, where are the fermatas? Oh, I see one here, and I see another one here. So at the fourth beat of the third measure of the final line, this would be considered measure 45. That final beat, they have you suspend time for a little bit. And then you end the song with a beautiful final 2 measures, okay? These are the things, the elements that make a song like this so special, right? When you suspend time, it really has your audience hooked. And they're just like, they're waiting for it to resolve at the very, very end, okay? Now let me demonstrate what that sounds like, okay? I'll play just the final line so you can hear how this additional restatement of the motif of the song really, really sticks with your audience, okay? Let's try it. All right. Starting at 43, the third beat, it says slower, okay? Oh, I think it would help if I actually put my hands in the right spot. Oh, yes, okay. So I'm starting here in our original spot that we began with, but then it also has that indicator there in parentheses for the left hand to move down to finger 2 on F, okay? So don't let that alarm you when I do that shift, okay? All right, let me go back to original position. There it is. Let me do my 6-beat count off. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, play. 2. Ritardando. Suspending fermata. E, C. Good. And that's how it ends. It's very beautiful with that suspension of time there with that fermata, okay? Be free with it, right? You can hold it, give it that personal touch, okay? This is your version of Beauty and the Beast, okay? So if you want to suspend that, if you want to add a little bit of pedal to it even at the end, feel free to do so, okay? This is one of those pieces where giving it your own flavor, giving it your own touch really pays off, because then people understand how meaningful it is to you, okay? So that's the final line, the cadenza of our Beauty and the Beast, okay? But now I want to play the whole thing for you, okay? So let me go ahead and do that. Kick back, grab your pencil, follow along in your music, and see how it sounds, okay? Let's do it together. All right. And I promise I won't sing, even though I want to. All right, here we go. there you have it. Yay! Oh, that was so much fun. It's such a pretty song. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning this song. Get those practice days in on this beautiful piece. Remember, join Discord because that's where I can help you. So if you're struggling with a section or you need some help with anything at all, keys, fingering, any sort of dynamics or musicality, phrasing, I'm there to help you, okay? So join Discord, all right? If you enjoyed this lesson, also consider joining as a patron. My patrons are literally the lifeblood that keep this channel and my business going. I wouldn't exist without my patrons. Since I'm donation-based, I'm really relying on that generosity. So I owe everything to them. So if you want to help out, if you want to join that exclusive list of supporters, consider joining Patreon, okay? All right. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was super fun for me. Can't wait for the next one, okay? I'll see y'all later. Happy practicing. Bye-bye.